Yes, Nithyanandam, everyone. We'll start this session chanting Sadguru Vanam. Please close your eyes. Bring your awareness to your breathing. Breathe as slowly and deeply as possible. Connect to a deep sense of gratitude in Ananda Gandha, below the heart center. Visualize Swamiji in your third eye. Inhale deeply and chant loudly. Nithyanandam Paramasukaram Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sarisham Tattvamasyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Yes, great. Thank you. So today I just wanted to share a process of unclutching and how we can use not only visualization and chanting, creating the space of completion, but also recognizing what doubts, fears, and blockages we may have and how to go beyond those to create the space we want to experience in our life, how to create that immediately. Okay, so we're going to go through a quick process that you can use anytime, and you may have to use thousands of times. The thing is that you're a conscious being, and that consciousness is beyond limitation. Okay, so whatever it is you want to create, you don't have to wait to create that in your life. So normally we think like, okay, I want to get this job, I want to have this relationship, or I want to have this mental setup, I want to have this body, I want to have these friends, I want to have these experiences, right? And we always think like, okay, so that has to take time to manifest. This is really one of the worst lies told to humanity, one of the worst cognitions given to us, one of the worst corruptions told to us, saying that you can't have what you want now. You are experiencing yourself. You are a spiritual being. You are not your thoughts. You're not your body. You're not your mind. You're not your emotions. You are experiencing those things. Okay, when I have a thought, I'm experiencing the thought. I'm not the thought. When the thought disappears, I don't disappear, right? I'm not my body. My finger gets cut off. I'm not gone. I'm experiencing my body. I'm experiencing my emotions. I'm experiencing my feelings. I'm experiencing my visualizations. Okay, so I am a conscious being, and that consciousness, the quality of that consciousness never changes. I'm always available to experience life. I never stop experiencing life. I'm always experiencing something, and that never changes. From the time I was born, the same I that was I was the same I that was I when I said I 10 years ago. When I say I, 10 years ago when I said I, that same I is the same I. It's never changed. My thoughts, feelings, emotions, perspectives, experiences change, but the I that is experiencing life now, that never changes. That quality is eternal. That's what people are calling as God. So in Vedic tradition, we know that as consciousness. Isavasyam nirgam sarvam. The first line in the first Upanishad says, the super consciousness pervades everything. That is what exists eternally, beyond this body. And that's the problem we need to solve in this lifetime, to give us liberation in this lifetime. And that's not something that takes any time. It just takes a declaration. Okay, so we're just going to go through a quick process of how to manifest that. So the specific blessing we have, of course, is blessing from Swamiji, Bhagavan, Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, and the ability to connect to that higher consciousness on the level of an avatar or enlightened incarnation, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So we can do meditation and that kind of stuff on our own for decades and never experience and achieve that ultimate space of oneness and be able to use it. But because consciousness is beyond time and space, there's something called mirror neurons. So for example, if you see someone swimming, there's been studies done showing that, for example, if you see someone swimming, that if you know how to do swimming, then the neurons that are firing in their brain in order to engage in the act of swimming is the same change that happens in your brain. So just by seeing someone do the action, that experience is recreated in your brain. They've done studies with monkeys in the same kind of way, where they do tests like they'll put a piece of food, and every time the monkey grabs the food, they buzz a buzzer. And then, just remove the food and buzz the buzzer, and the same reaction happens in the monkey's brain as though they're getting the food. Or just showing someone else taking the food, and then the monkey has the same experience of them getting the food. So just by seeing things, that same neural setup is created in us. So that means that's like a glimpse into what empathy is and how empathy works. So when you see someone crying or you see someone in a dangerous situation, that experience gets created in you. You can see that in sports, right? When people are watching a sports game, then the intense emotion that they experience, it's like they look like they are in the middle of the action, right? So you can see, as that example, it's getting created inside of them. So same way, when we engage with a experience with an enlightened being, their mental setup, their cognitive experience gets transmitted to us. That's why enlightened beings that are consciousness just like us, that's why, although they don't need to, and they're not in the space of delusion taking the human body, they take a human body because that's the only way to transmit a cognition. A cognition has to transmit through a physical body. Our physical body is intelligent enough to perceive the state and space of another physical body and have that be recreated in us. But in order for that to happen, you have to see it happening in another physical body. So you need to see that high conscious experience, that high Kundalini awakening, that high manifestation of third eye. Your body and system needs to see that in another frame, another physical human form that your form can relate to, and that space gets created in you. This has also been proven through things like entanglement, quantum entanglement, which is when two DNA particles, say from one body, another body, physical body, human body, come into the sphere of influence or range of influence of each other, because these particles operate in a way that we don't entirely understand from the terms of modern science. So when these particles come into the frame of influence of each other, they exchange information, and they maintain those changes across time and space. So when they become separated, even by thousands of miles, if one change happens in this particle, it is immediately reflected beyond time and space in this particle. So this is like, this is the way that our being is functioning, based on conscious frequency and literally the chemical changes that happen in our body. So when we engage with an enlightened master and imbue that energy, that physical change is maintained over time and space in our system, so we can use that. So what we have to do is just get past the mental, emotional blockages that prevent us from seeing that we're consciousness, use the enlightenment energy initiations of the enlightened master, and just create what we want. It's shockingly simple science and completely effective and immediately available. It just takes a declaration. This is the reality I want. I'm declaring its reality now. I'm going to live in that space now. You want to be a king? Declare you're a king now and start living like a king. There's nothing more in life than experience of your life itself. So all we have to do is declare whatever life we want. That is the reality, and live it. And it becomes the reality. Whether or not you see the things on the outside is irrelevant. A king, when he loses his kingdom, a real king, he or she, when they lose their kingdom, they don't stop being a king. It's the inner space and powerfulness and enriching attitude that a king manifests that makes them a king, not the title. So this is the important thing we have to understand. Even a beggar, a sannyasi beggar or a sadhu beggar, enlightened being with no possessions, who has the inner space of powerfulness, possibility, and manifesting that Shakti of creating what they want, they will be eternally blissful without any dependency on outer world things. So we're going to go through a little process to share how to manifest that space in us at any time with no limitations of what we want, how we want to manifest it, and no limitations on what our doubts about it may be. So first thing to do is just write down quickly five. You can write down 5 things that you want to create in your life. It can be blockages you want to remove, things you want to create, spaces you want to manifest, relationships, wealth, health, whatever it is. Write down 5 things quickly you want to manifest in your life.
Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Okay, great. Now, next thing we're going to do is go through each of those 5 things you want to create. Write down all the doubts, fears, worries, powerless cognitions you have about impossibilities that it can actually happen. Okay, so go through each one, write down all the doubts, fears, worries, why it won't happen, the doubts you feel it cannot happen, whatever powerless cognitions you have, anything happened from the past, anything you're doubtful about may happen in the future. Just write down all the reasons why you think it can't happen for each one of the things you wrote down you want to manifest.
Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om 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 Nithyananda Paramashivam. Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivam.
Okay, great. So now you've written down 5 things you want to manifest in your life, and whatever doubts, fears, worries, powerless cognitions you have about how to manifest it, or your ability to manifest, or whether or not it will happen. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to connect to the energy of enlightened being. Just one moment. Okay, so what we're going to do now is connect to the space of Swamiji, Bhagavan, Sri Nithyanandam Paramashivam, enlightened incarnation. We're going to connect to the source of our consciousness by utilizing a tool called Mahavakya. So Mahavakya is like a supreme word given by an enlightened being. So it's a tool, it's a way to connect to the source of our superconsciousness. Okay, so we may not know how to do that or have the ability to manifest it. Enlightened beings give a way to manifest the power of superconsciousness in us immediately in a way that we can actually make happen. Okay, so basically, the process of manifesting powerfulness is the space beyond doubts. So if we're having doubts, you just have to remove the doubts. So how do we do that? If we awaken, say our source is beyond doubt, the superconscious self is beyond doubt. So we just have to awaken the energy of ourself with the powerful cognition beyond our doubts to give us experience of that powerful space beyond doubt. Whatever doubt or fear you have, just have to raise your conscious experience beyond that level. Okay, so this is something we can do anytime. And the thing is, even if you don't experience it, you just declare that it's the case and live as though it's the case, and that is your reality. So the reality we're experiencing now is because we wanted something in the past. So what we wanted in the past is manifesting now. We're only ones creating our life. We're creating our life because of the powerful because of the not necessarily powerful cognitions, because of the cognitions and desires we had in the past of what we wanted our life to be. That's why our life is the way it is now. That's also why you can change it immediately by your declaration. But so many times in the past, we took action and declared we wanted life to be in a certain way, even out of powerless cognitions, unconscious cognitions. So that's why we're having whatever suffering or limitations we may have now. So make the declaration now. It may take some time for you to see that physically change, because what you wanted in the past is also manifesting now. So whatever you manifested in the past, you have to give it the opportunity to manifest, because that was your as a conscious being, you are powerful enough. The biggest secret in life is that you are the creator of your reality. You're powerful enough to create your reality. You're creating your reality based on your cognitions. So your powerful ability to create your life as you want was manifested in the past. So it's manifesting now as your present. So The present declaration, you may not see that it happened, because what you manifested in the past has to manifest. So your declaration now may take some time for you to see that it's manifested as your present. But it doesn't mean stop living the life that I want, right? What life I want to live, I should start living it now. So whether or not you experience your powerful declaration and manifestation to live life how you want is more powerful to manifest your reality than your thoughts, feelings, emotions, right? So we can lose some respect actually for our mind. Always so much respect for mind and ego and image. No, your declaration and powerfulness is much more powerful than that. Much more powerful and meaningful than your emotions, thoughts, feelings. Doesn't matter how you're feeling, right? Go to the gym, do the workout. Doesn't matter how you're feeling. Get up, take a bath, and go to work, right? Doesn't matter how you're feeling. You can manifest, you can live the life you want to live, regardless of whether or not your thoughts, feelings, emotions agree with that at this moment. You are too powerful to create your reality now. So it's just a declaration. Whether it's 10,000 times, who's going to make the declaration one more time? You or your doubts and fears? I declare this is my powerful space. My fear says, no, I'm more powerful. No, I declare. No, I declare. So whoever declares one more time than the other, that's the winner. That's all. So when you decide you're more powerful, or you decide your fear, doubts, and worries are more powerful, then that's your reality. Okay? So it's literally, this is the secret of life. It's literally just your declaration. The secret of life and enlightenment is who declares one more time they're enlightened, you or your fear. These people don't understand. They think I have to just, it's willpower. They say I'm not powerful enough to create. No, it's will persistence. I declare one more time that's my reality, and it is my reality. Fear, doubt, or worry creeps in, or a thought creeps in and says something else, then I once then again declare, no, this is my reality, and take action from that. That is what determines your enlightenment. Are you living enlightenment or not? That's what declares your enlightenment, nothing else. So this is a huge secret of enlightenment people don't know. They think I cannot be enlightened. Hey, if you change that into I'm enlightened, then you're enlightened. So whether or not your thoughts, feelings, emotions agree that you are super consciousness doesn't matter. You're Paramashiva whether or not you understand, agree, want, or don't want. So let's move into the process. So for whatever you want to manifest, just visualize it's already happened. Okay, we're going to chant Mahavakya to awaken that super consciousness in us. You don't have to do anything. If you want to, you can connect with a deep sense of gratitude in your Nanda Ganda, which is just below the heart center. You can visualize Swamiji in your third eye. You can look towards the third eye and visualize Swamiji in your third eye. That's a super powerful technique to do. You can literally experience alternate physical realities through third eye. Third eye is your gateway to manifesting your life in all dimensions. So visualize what you want to create has already happened. We'll chant Mahavakya to give ourselves experience. When you have the experience of powerfulness beyond that space, you've manifested that space of reality in you. Then you just need to take action from that space to directly manifest anything you want in your life. So you've created the space already. It's already happened. Whether or not you see it physically is indifferent, actually, because you've created the space. It's whether money creates stability in us, it's the stability we want. Whether money creates powerfulness in us, or so-called perceived economic stability creates powerfulness and peacefulness in us, it's the powerfulness and peacefulness that we want. So it's not that if the money is taken away, or the house is taken away, or the friend is taken away, that we should have powerlessness. That's not powerful living. It's not sustainable. What's sustainable is the ability to manifest my own consciousness. And that happens just by the declaration. It happens now, and you decide one more time than anything else, then that is your reality. Whether or not you have the other things then becomes irrelevant. Not that you shouldn't or you can't, or that you won't. But more importantly, you should live powerfully now, however you want to, independent of any fears, doubts, worries. So that is the science of super consciousness. It's just your declaration. But Swamiji, the enlightened avatar, can literally connect you just through your own declaration. And so many things can come in physically, physiologically, psychologically, just by connecting to the enlightenment energy of a living master. So that's the benefit we get from the incarnation. They're living there and manifesting. They can make it all happen to us and lead us and guide us by name And by 2020, July 24th, and then July 25th, and July 26th can tell you, okay, based on this economic situation, this thing is happening as COVID, this thing is happening in the world, can literally guide you by name how to evolve yourself physically, because you need to change the cells in our body. So this is a huge science manifested through Ayurveda, Siddha, yoga, all these things is huge ancient science. So we'll move into the experience of manifesting powerfulness and creating the space of whatever we want in our life. So visualize what it is you want to create. It's already happened. We'll chant Mahavakya for a few moments to awaken the gateway to manifesting all powers in us through Mahavakya, to imbue the energy of superconsciousness and Swamiji into the space we want to create, reinforce that in our system, and align all the cells in our system to that reality. So close your eyes, bring your awareness to your breathing, breathe as slowly and deeply as you can, and visualize whatever it is you want to create has already happened. You can chant Mahavakya intensely, as loudly and intensely as possible.
Nithyananda Paramashivam Om 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 Nithyananda Paramashivam
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Slowly, very slowly, please open your eyes. Great, so please share what is your experience in the comments, and you can ask your comments and questions also by sending a message. And now I just wanted to share, I just requested through Third Eye Swamiji to guide me to a page in the Living Enlightenment book, which I'll just share the link right now. I just shared the link for the Living Enlightenment book. So this book is a deity. It's been, Swamiji physically sat and wrote parts of it and energized the book, the knowledge, the jnana itself as a deity. So anytime you want to, you can just connect through Mahavakya, do the chanting, ask any question to this book, even for yourself or other people, with a deep desire to authentically know and implement the answer, and then flip to any page, even through the soft copy, and start reading, and you immediately get your solution. We've done this so many thousands of times. Literally, the book is a living deity. So it's like having a enlightened master in the palm of your hand. You can ask any question out of the privacy of your own home anytime you want about anything you want, and immediately give the solution. And you can do this for other people too. So beautiful gift. So I'm just going to read what I've gotten from Third Eye right now for this session. So it's being projected on the screen, and I'll just read it out. So this is page 530. Conscious decision to live the truth immediately in your life. Okay. Not only that, when you watch the river continuously, you go on dropping fear. There will be so many things floating in the river. When you see dead bodies floating, you will clearly see the deeply embedded fears will disappear when merging with the flow of the river. One Zen master was asked, "What is Zen?" He replied, "Walk on." Zen Buddhism beautifully says, life is like the river that flows and fills each form and bursts its own limitations to expand its capacity. Moves. Not philosophizing. a dogma. For a real sannyasi, life simply moves in the right direction. The learning happens during the movement, not as a separate thing. Small story. Once there lived a thief who had a son. The son asked him to teach the secrets of the trade. The father agreed, and that night he took him to steal from a big house. After everyone went to sleep, he silently led his son into a room that contained a clothes closet. He told him to go into the closet to steal some clothes. As soon as the son went inside, he quickly shut the door and locked him in. Then he went outside the house and knocked loudly on the front door. Hours later, his son returned home and angrily shouted at him, "Why did you lock me in that closet?" The father just smiled and replied, "If I had not done that, you would not have had your first lesson in the art of burglary." Sannyas is nothing but straightaway practicing the truths every moment. There is enough philosophy in the world, but no one to follow it. Sannyas is simply a conscious decision to live the truth immediately in your life. A Zen master tells his disciple very beautifully, studying the truth as if in stagnation, there will be movement around the obstacle, trying to find the flow again. There's no stopping. A great Japanese warrior decided to attack his enemy. His army was only 1/10 of his enemy's army, but he was very sure he would win. His soldiers, however, did not believe so. On the way to the war, he went to a temple and told his men, "I will toss a coin inside the temple. If heads appears, we will win. If tails appears, we will lose. Destiny holds us in her hands." The soldiers agreed. He entered the temple, offered a silent prayer, and tossed the coin. Heads appeared. His soldiers were so excited that they went forward and fought with all their courage and won the battle. After the battle, one of his assistants told him, "No one can change the hand of destiny." The warrior said, "I suppose not," and showed him a coin having heads on both sides. You are the most powerful manifestation of consciousness in your life. What you decide is the reality. Whether you're going to decide one more time your decision is the reality or someone else's, and fulfilling someone else's reality for your life is your choice. The flow of life is available now. It's your declaration to manifest what you want. So I'd like to thank everyone for participating and sharing in this process, which has been immensely enriching for me, and once again proves the experience of oneness and beautiful powerfulness and the ability to enrich everyone just by chanting Mahavakya and sharing a passage from Living Enlightenment. Literally change our entire life in just one moment. So I'd like to encourage everyone to share whatever your experience is of this session with other people. And I'm showing the link to make this experience as a lifestyle in you and learn how to be a leader in your life, learn how to be a rock, stable source of superconscious solutions, emotional, mental, psychological solutions for everyone in your life. Learn how to live beyond conflict, not creating conflict in our relationships. Learn how to deal with conflict in relationships. Learn how to literally change the entire path of suffering, failure, doubt, worry that we may have created. Feeling that mistakes we made in the past with relationships or things we're not able to change in our life, worries about money, sustainable future, even things dealing with diseases and different afflictions. All of these things simply get washed away, and you get created inside of you experience of how to live beyond all of those things in the 16-day Paramashivam program. Learn every powerful cognition about your life and address everything that's happened in your life. Experience the liberation from all of those things, going back to your early childhood, whether it's family relationships, friends, loved ones, spouses, parents. Learn the solutions and how to make completion between you and them, so you can live in a powerful space free from any of the problems that you've experienced in your life, and give that same liberation opportunity to others and move forward without any limitation. Make it part of your physical reality, and every moment, actions you're taking throughout the day, how to manifest that more and more. So these are the kind of things that get created. We just had this beautiful experience in just less than 1 hour, 45 minutes. And so you can imagine in 16 days, everything you know about you and you start to understand what is consciousness and how to make it happen. You can physically change the reality. Okay, it's an alchemy process that changes your physical body. That's why we get that experience of feeling lightness. Your physiology is literally coming into the breathing space of an enlightened being and literally changing the vibrational frequency of your electrons, the atoms of your cells. Okay, this is literally changing DNA. So the ability to manifest anything you want. No one will be turned away for reasons that they cannot pay for the program. You can join for 1 day free through the link. If you go to paramashivahome.org, you can register for the 16 days. So just comment or send me a question if you'd like any questions or anything else about how to transform your life, how to prepare for coronavirus, post-corona future, and the new world order, how to make the new world order a conscious life. So what's happening in life is what's happening is the fake economic system that we know is 14 times more money than actually exists and has been taken off the gold standard since I think the 80s. That fake economic system that collapsed as the mortgage scandals, the Enron, the WorldCom, the 2008 collapse of Lehman Brothers, and the banking system that was propped up by like a $2 trillion injection that has once again fallen. And the United Nations and elsewhere is saying that this kind of collapse in global trade has not been seen since the Depression. What happened in this 1 month of coronavirus shutdown was equivalent to the drop within 3 years that happened during the 1930s. We know approximately $2 trillion was put into propping up the banks in 2008, whereas the United States dropped between 3 and 6 trillion immediately. I believe it was during the month of April to respond as an initial response to coronavirus. As well, the employment rates went to 6 times more, up to 30 million than what they were during the Great Depression. So this is an economic collapse that has happened that we're not even talking about because of the fear of coronavirus. So we're going to see moving forward, things are going to change. This powerful space of living life, not dependent on plastic, not dependent on a credit card or money. You're a living being and you have a life. And whether or not you have a big plastic house, you're able to live blissfully for as many hundreds of years as life gives you on this planet with all the people around you. Humans are not able, it's not that humans are not able to live life. They're able to live life independent of the fake economic system and the indoctrination of whatever it is, the fear and worry that I cannot do, that I can't have this, I don't have that, I can't do this, I don't have that. It's just a stress, fear, and a worry. You just need to learn how to remove that from the anger and pain of our system that makes us so frustrated, and the chemicals we're eating that controls our brain and body. Okay, and the constant powerless cognitions we've been told. You just need to get beyond that, understand how to operate beyond it, the tools and techniques, how to do that, have the experience of doing it, how to change the heat and pain and anger that happens in our body, of frustration of not being able to deal with social situations. Just need to get beyond that and learn how to live a new life. It's the life we should always be living all the time, not dependent on 9 to 5, not worrying about this and that. A little bit of food and a little bit of shelter is all we need. We don't need this. If you have it, that's great. Nothing against having things, but not at the cost of putting us into depression and the fear and the worry and the control of doing a job we don't want to do, or doing things we don't want to do, and not understanding why we're doing, or not feeling it's fulfilled, or not putting energy into family and sustaining relationships and enriching the lives of other people. So what's happening in this destruction of coronavirus is the transactional, exploitative economic system that makes you do things you don't want to do and doesn't give you a solution is being replaced with a consciousness-based society. The currency is no longer non-existent money based on exploitation and fear. The currency now is who is enriching my life, who is adding to the bliss of my life. So when you add to the bliss of other people's lives, reality has to manifest and take care of you, because it wants itself to experience itself as blissfulness. The oneness expands just to celebrate itself in all dimensions, not to experience depression. That's the choice humans have made. And the big economic mass media cult and cinema cult consumerism cult that has told us that you're not fulfilled now. You're fulfilled now. Regain the powerfulness of your eternal nature that is you and live it, independent of what happens in the next few years with this coronavirus meltdown. Live your powerfulness. It's available to you now. In 16 days, rewrite your biomemory. From all the fear, pain, and worry of your whole life, give yourself a new reality and give it to others. So with this, we've come to the end of today's session. I'd like to close this session chanting the Pula Mantra and encourage everyone to please join again. In looks like the next session will be in 10 and a half hours, which means 6 p.m., 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time, 5:30 a.m. India Standard Time. I believe that's correct. Thank you, everyone. I've had a wonderful time, and I look forward to meeting again with you soon to share about the New World Order and what we're going to do in the next couple of years to get through the collapse of this fake exploitative global system, okay? And how to come out of fear, how to deal with our relationships, how to deal with the economic situation that we're facing and our living situation, how to move forward powerfully. It's available now. The fact that it's not available to you is a lie. That's told to you as a lie. You and your highest possibility is available to you now. You can experience that just by a choice. Okay, you can make it a prolonged experience every minute of your life by getting it deeply into your muscle memory, taking the initiations on a DNA level from an enlightened being who can do it in just 2 weeks. Okay, so you can actually participate in Paramashivam for free for 1 day, just to get a taste of what it is. And if you need any help manifesting that as a reality for you, then please just contact me. I'm going to close this session chanting the important mantra, and we'll see you again next time. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Parukar Purnamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Yes, thank you, everyone. I'd like to thank you all again for joining, and we'll see you again next time. Nithyanandam.